Hey there, YouTube, and happy Monday. It's a brand new week, and I wanted to start off this brand new week with a tasty, spicy, creamy, raw vegan recipe for you. Plus, I got a couple of tips to throw in there just in general on recipe making. So, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please go down there now and hit that subscribe button. Then be sure you click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. Tell you what I've been doing lately. I've been going back through the recipes, mostly recipes I've shared here somewhere on my channel, and just like redoing them, tweaking them. Some of them I've completely revamped, like that last recipe video I did, which was corn soup. Now today I've got another soup here. And this just kind of came out of the other day. I was sitting around. I was like, "Ooh, that corn soup was really good. I wouldn't mind having another soup. Ooh, I got a taste for carrot." And then I said, "Oh, I've done a carrot soup before. Let me go pull that out of the recipe." So I went and pulled that out of the recipes, and I started looking at it. And sometimes when you look at an old recipe with fresh eyes, especially if you're not a recipe creator, and if you're not that adept in the kitchen, you'll go back in, but then you'll learn some more and you'll say like, oh, okay, I see what didn't work with that recipe before. So like I said, this is a spicy, creamy carrot soup here. Nice and thick. Nice and thick. I like my soups really thick, and I'll tell you like a little bit later when we're going through the ingredients, you might like it a little bit different and you can adjust that. All these recipes can be adjusted to a large extent. So what is in this one? We've got 2 cloves of garlic, 1 medium tomato, 2.5 cups of chopped carrots, probably approximately about a 1-inch piece of ginger, but once again, go by how your taste on that. You can use a little bit more, you can use a little bit less, but that worked for me. A splash of coconut aminos, a teaspoon of chili powder, a piece of jalapeno. Like I say in all my videos, it just depends on how many seeds are in there. Like here's a good example. You're not going to be able to see all that much. This is a big chunk of jalapeno, which I didn't use, that doesn't have hardly any seeds in it. So this would give you flavor, not a ton of hot. So sometimes I'll mix a piece that doesn't have any seeds in there just for flavor, and then another piece smaller for the hot part of it. Okay, so you've got I said 1 teaspoon of chili powder. I think I mentioned that one. Piece of jalapeno, just a little bit of Himalayan salt, as much black pepper as you want to use, and just a little splash, just 2 or 3 drops of liquid smoke. Gives it that nice kind of little smoky taste to it. And then you want to start off, okay, and here's where the tips come in. I started off with a 1/2 cup of water. Because what's my number 1 rule? You can always add more moisture or water, but you can't take it away, or your liquid, so you can't take it away. So I started with a 1/2, and I used my tamper, and I worked it. Wasn't getting quite as creamy. I mean, it needed a little bit more, in other words. So I put another 1/4 cup in there. But I would totally recommend you start with just a 1/2 cup. In fact, depending on how big that medium tomato is and how juicy it is, you might even want to start with a 1/4 cup and see how it goes. And then, like I say, you can always add some more in there. Another thing too, when you start doing recipes like this, you start seeing commonalities. Like, oh shit, I left out a whole thing in there. One key ingredient in there that I left out was, like the last soup, it was 1/3 of a cup of cashews. I soaked those cashews and then put them in there, and that gives me a little bit of fat in there, a little bit of that creaminess stuff. And that's what I was going to talk about there. You just start kind of learning little tricks like that in the past, and then some recipes, an avocado or something works better to give you creaminess and also for your healthy fat. But in others, those cashews are definitely a lot better. The tomato. A lot of recipes, you put your tomato in almost first. It doesn't matter if you put a couple of pieces of garlic in first, but you want that tomato down on the bottom because that provides natural liquid, natural moisture, and that will help get your blades going when you're starting off. So always use your tomato if you're going to use something like that first. And think about that if you're trying to create recipes for yourself. And I encourage you to do that. Once you kind of start learning a few little steps that you can use and repeat over and over, it'll inspire you to get into the kitchen more. But whenever you can, use natural liquid as opposed to just pouring water into it, because come on, everybody out there has got to have some story of when they ruined their something by pouring too much water in there. So there's so many times, depending on what you're doing, like with that corn's a lot more juicy than carrots are, so I didn't even use any liquid in there. And if I didn't use any water in there. I don't have that recipe right in front of me. I don't think I used any water in there. If it was very, very, very little. But no, I didn't use any in there. And you just tamper it down, because like I say, you can always go back and add the water. And a lot of times if you'll just use like a tomato, I have recipes that I use a cucumber in that gets my moisture going. It has more flavor to it. Water always waters everything down, no pun intended. So yeah, I'm going to enjoy this. This is a nice thick soup. I like big, thick soups. And, this one, you could have it fairly cool. You can have this one completely a cold, cool soup. Or you can run your Vitamix. Run it for a little while. Let it go. Fill your Vitamix. It starts feeling warm. Yeah, you got a little bit more of a warm soup. If you might, I know I have people down under sometime comment on there. You're probably getting into winter right about now, or you're coming into winter. So, all right. Since I had forgotten a couple of ingredients there, let me read that recipe so it'll all be in one place for you instead of jumping around. 2 cloves of garlic, 1 medium tomato, 2½ cups of chopped carrots, 1/3 of a cup soaked cashews, approximately 1-inch piece of ginger, splash of coconut aminos, 1 teaspoon chili powder, a piece of jalapeno to taste, be careful with that, a little bit of Himalayan salt, and a couple of dashes of liquid smoke, and as much black pepper as you want. Even though I blended some black pepper in there, I'm going to, when I put this in a bowl, I'm going to put some more black pepper in there and enjoy my lunch, because it rained all weekend. The sun just came out, so I'm going to have my lunch, get a workout in a little bit later, and also get a walk in the park. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll try this. And any of my recipes you try out, let me know what you think. I'm always real curious to hear. So, yep, give me a thumbs up if you like it, and I'll see you here again middle of the week. Peace.